All right, Cody, this is your initial swing assessment for the 2023 season. If you recall from last year, we go through this. We're going to be looking for the elements of a rotational swing. If you're not quite familiar with it, you don't quite remember it, there is a link in the description section of this YouTube video you can click on. Go watch that right now if you're not familiar with it. And I think it's about a 4-minute video. Walks you through some of the things we're going to be looking for and the terminology that we use. If you are all set, let's just get started. All right, let's take a look at your swing. All right, now, in looking for the elements of a rotational swing, what we do is we look at your foot strike, which is right there, and we're going to draw a circle around your head here, and we don't want you drifting forward out of that circle, and you can see you do. It's not significant, but it's still a little bit forward. You still are a little bit linear. You do not come up off your back foot, which is really good. So that tells you that you're not devastatingly linear, right? You're just a little bit linear. You are a little bit far forward. Your weight is a little bit far forward and supported on this leg. Okay, and what we really want out of a rotational swing is we want you supported on this leg back here as your hips rotate through. So you are a little bit off balance. You're a little bit too heavy on the front. You've drifted a little bit too heavy on the front. Your sequencing looks pretty good. Remember, we look for your body to rotate in the order of 1, 2, and 3 from the ground up. Speaking of your knee twisting, your hips, and then your torso, right? So the knee twists, it engages your hips to twist. As your hips begin to twist, your torso comes through and you bring your hands through. Really, I don't see that sequencing here. I see one. I see really your entire body swinging at once, all right, and as you come through. So we want a little bit more separation in that sequencing, and I'm going to give you a drill that is going to help you do that. If we look at your hands, I do see that you're casting out a little bit. And what that means is, believe it or not, when you swing a bat, you're not actually bringing your hands out and around. Okay, there is a little bit of a push. While your body is twisting, you're bringing your hands, kind of pushing your hands through, and then you're getting extension at the point of contact, and then continuing around. Okay, and what you're doing is you're casting your hands out over the plate a little bit, and you can see that you develop an arm bar. That's one of the things that we look at to determine if you're casting, is if you have an arm bar. What an arm bar is it's when that front arm here stays pretty flat against your chest as you swing through. And you can see that's exactly what you do. Okay? You start to get a little separation there, and that's good, but you have a slight arm bar as you go through your swing. We definitely want to correct that, because what ends up happening with that when you cast is you drop the bat head and you pop a lot of things up, or you get under the ball entirely and miss. And we definitely don't want you doing that. Let's see, your follow through on this swing is a little awkward in the sense that once you rotate your top hand over right here, okay, you can see how your right hand kind of twist, your wrist rolls over. Normally what we see is people bend that left elbow. Let's see if we can zoom in here. Bend that left elbow and allow the hands, the elbow bends here, and the hands then come up and over and around. And what you do is you actually carry it through without bending the elbow. And so you're in this kind of, it looks like a really uncomfortable position at the end. I'm concerned about that only because I'm afraid that your swing is slowing down because of it. Because if your body goes too fast, you could necessarily hurt yourself, so your brain's not going to let you swing as hard as you possibly can out of kind of this subconscious protection against hurting yourself. So it's kind of an odd thing to have to work on, but it's something we definitely want to keep an eye on. You're a hockey player, right? So I see a lot of a slap shot in here, okay? And I think that's what I'm seeing, because there's that casting, and obviously you cast down when you're taking a slap shot, and as you go through, you don't really roll over too much roll your wrists over, from what I recall, roll your wrists over on a slap shot very much. And so I think you got a little bit of a hockey swing baked in here that we have to kind of work out. It's not a big deal. We'll figure it out, right? It usually, the sooner we get at it, and I know you're going to be in hockey season, but the sooner we get at it after hockey season, then the faster you'll get out of that. So maybe if you stay engaged in hitting every day, or not hitting every day, but swinging the bat every day, maybe hitting a few times a week, you can kind of prevent it from that hockey swing from kind of taking root. Okay, so let's keep going. Okay, same thing here. I think you have the perfect connection device, right? It looks like this. I'm not sure if you have it or you've just used it. If you have it, you need to use it really every day. Okay, you just need to do it. If you don't have it, talk to me if you would like to buy one. I think we have one of ours over at, there's two at Complete Sports Training. I don't know if they're both belong to CST or if one of them's ours, but definitely want you to use that to get your arms perfectly positioned through your swing. You do better in your swing finish here, but that back elbow is still in kind of an awkward position. Sequencing could use more separation. You are a little bit far forward, but again, just like a hockey player would be, kind of heavy on that front leg. But yeah, so just some minor things really that we need to address. But let's take a look. Let's finish up here, and we'll get you some drills and get you rolling, kid. Your hand-eye coordination is fantastic. That's really good. It's really good. But there's nothing new here. I mean, everything's still the same. So just one or two more. All right, foot strike. Yep. Everything's the same. Okay. So look, I'm going to give you some drills. Number one, to help you keep your weight back instead of drifting too far forward. So I'm going to give you a couple of drills for that. One of the drills is also going to help your sequencing. It's going to help you set your sequencing correctly, get a little bit more separation in your sequencing. And yeah, that's really it. I mean, I don't think what's happening after contact is something that we need to focus on right away. Let's get your weight back and let's get your sequencing correct. We can work on the other. That's not as big a problem as the other two. And the other two really aren't a big problem. You're still going to make contact. You're still going to drive the ball. We just want to make you better. Okay, that makes sense? All right, look, Cody, great to have you back this year. I'm really glad you're in the program. If you have any questions, you feel free to let me know. And I look forward to seeing you. And I'm going to come out to one of those hockey games too. So look for me. Flip me a puck. All right, man. We'll talk soon. Okay, this is what we call our plant the flag drill. And what this drill does, what we use it for, is for hitters who are lunging too far forward or coming way too far forward off their back foot. We also use it for sequencing purposes. So if a player is out of sequence, this helps them set their sequencing correctly. And what Jack's going to do is he's holding the bar at about the spot that he would hold the bat. And what he's going to do is he's going to execute his swing to the point that he can without moving his hands off this bar. All right, go ahead. Now, the idea here is not to have the hitter strain against the pole, but rather develop a sensation of keeping his hands back and his weight back in his stance. This is our lead with the elbow drill. Now this drill is for hitters who have developed an arm bar, meaning their front arm gets straight too early in their swing. And so in this drill, what we do is it's a two-segmented drill. And in the first segment, the hitter is going to bring his elbow forward so that it just crosses his belly button, and from there he's going to pause, and then he's going to chop through the ball. All right, this is just to develop muscle memory for the hitter to begin to bend his elbow as part of his swing. All right, let's get going. Now, the most important thing in this first segment is to bring the elbow straight forward and maintain a bend in that elbow before swinging the bat. All right, this is our 1, 2, 3 drill. This is a segmenting drill.
Now we use this for hitters whose sequencing is a little bit off. It'll help reset their sequencing. We also use it for hitters who are tending to drift forward. This drill will help them stay back and keep their weight back in their swing. Now what Jack's going to do here is he's going to segment his swing into 3 different segments. When I call 1, he's going to get it into his low position. When I call 2, he's going to swing with just the lower half of his body. So he's going to stride, he's going to turn his legs and his hips as far as he can without turning his torso. And when I call 3, he's going to turn his torso and bring his hands through. Ready? Give it a shot?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Good. Jack is going to demonstrate the 25s. Now, the 25s are an everyday drill, really, for all of our players. In fact, all of our players in our program use the 25 6 days a week. Now, what Jack is going to do is he's going to swing the bat with 2 hands 25 times, then just his front hand 25 times, then just his back hand 25 times, and then finally he's going to finish with 2 hands 25 times. Show us how it's done. Now, as the hitter executes this drill, he should envision a pitcher throwing him his perfect pitch and him hitting that perfect pitch. We do this because not only do we want to train our body how to swing the bat, but we also want to train our mind how to respond when it sees our perfect pitch.